Spring shall find your cheerful flowers in the bringing of a new. Allow me to forget.
Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do.
Spring shall find your cheerful flowers in the bringing of a new. Allow me to forget the agony of missing you. Maybe the spring burst into new life, refreshing hope. The grieving of the soul, the cope, the ground, the treasure, the heart. Giving up words special to make me see. The precious love for the fortune to receive, and I want to unite. Anguish in the mind for the terrible to plot. Maybe the bringing of the new light, for the releasing of the joy of recrossing across the sea. For maybe the remaining of the seasons in life from the earth, for the meaning, for the merriment, for the mirth, for the sometimes in silence. Finding the yesterdays and gentle, understanding new ways where I can be helping myself. Spring shall find your cheerful flowers in the bringing of a new. Allow me to forget the agony of missing you. Maybe the spring burst into new life, refreshing hope. The breathing of the soul, the cope, the ground, the treasure, the courage, for giving your words special to make me see. The precious love for the fortunate to receive, and I want to unite. Anguish in the mind for the terrible to plot. Maybe the bringing of the new light, for the releasing of the joy of crossing across the sea. For maybe the remaining of seasons in life from the earth, for the meaning, for the merriment, for the mirth, for the sometimes in silence. Finding yesterdays and gentle, understanding new ways where I can be helping myself. For the gifts and the comfort, they helping me see that I can find lingering and lasting gifts for the comfort and will sustain. I would till the journey for the people shore. I should swim, not tread waters and find the winter. For the walls, for the leaf and the other winter. For the songs, for the sometimes in warm iron of the day. For the larking of the silent wings, I fly away. That is not to consume. Fast is not to overload. Why we plan to that love, that spirit, that grief, that understanding. This is Rapper, but this is not for the life, for the law, for the contribution for these to be so strong. Spring shall find your cheerful flowers in the bringing of a new. Allow me to forget the agony of missing you. Maybe the spring burst into new life, refreshing hope. The grieving of the soul, the cope, the ground, the treasure, the courage, for the giving of words special to make me see. The precious love for the fortunate to receive, and I want to unite. Anguish in the mind for the terrible to plot. Maybe the bringing of a new light, for the releasing of the joy of crossing across the sea. For maybe the remaining of seasons in life from the earth, for the meaning, for the merriment, for the mirth, for the sometimes in silence. Finding yesterdays and gentle, understanding new ways where I can be helping myself. For the gifts and the comfort, they helping me see that I can find lingering and lasting gifts for the comfort and will sustain. I would tell the journey for the people shore. I should swim, not tread waters and find the winter. For the walls, for the leaf and the other winter. For the songs, for the sometimes in warm iron of the day. For the larking of the silent wings, I fly away. Sadness not to consume, vast is not to overload. Mind replant for the heart. Maybe this is the moment to escape. That love, that spirit.
There's nothing better after girl. There's all the skin of gold. There's nothing girl. There's nothing better. After girl, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. After girl, leave your bones. There's all the skin of gold. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. After girl, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Leave your bones. There's all the skin of gold. There's nothing better. There's nothing better.
Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair. Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, but it's my fault for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it to begin, for the making me yelp, and for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and the fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners that can never break through the bars but have hold over me. Feel like I can't leave. One day I'll grow strong for the day to believe that you could just wait for the only one with the sin to hate, so I could be the one to yell, for not to tell you to go to hell, but I wish I could, for the life that I could sip such bliss, but now I have to stay here. Tears will only hide the slowly starting to die inside to dissipate. Fate, determined, fated, discernment.
Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, but it's my fault for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it to begin, for the making me yelp, and for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and the fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners that can never break through the bars but have hold over me. Feel like I can't leave. One day I'll grow strong for the day to believe that you could just wait for the only one with the sin to hate, so I could be the one to yell, for not to tell you to go to hell, but I wish I could, for the life that I could sip such bliss, but now I have to stay here. Tears will only hide the slowly starting to die inside to dissipate. Fate, determined, fated, discernment. The greatest delight I have. For the greeting of the poem to say it all, but I decided I'd awaken my muse with reading the poem for the current, for the looking at the market to use. For the night, but I couldn't puzzle, for somehow words were not rhyme, for the story is told, for the simply felt, for the code, but I really can't say for many hours spent. Headed to complete the discontent, for the somehow it seems for the passing of the year, for the many changes I could bring tears or words, and maybe this such joy to me, for the I've been writing the pure harmony for the dictionary. The lo behold for this, as I was told for the imaginative beauty, rhythmatically expressed for the art, for the beauty of its motions and stressing in different poets. Books to the shelf and including bar for the self, for the ever knowledge, for the light, for the rest, for the quiet world, for the pondering, contemplating, for the heavens beyond, grass for the rose of the poets, what you be saying. Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's love from the breaking point. Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, but it's my fault for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, but it's my fault for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it to begin, for the making me yelp, and for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and the fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners that can never break through the bars but have hold over me. Feel like I can't leave. One day I'll grow strong for the day to believe that you could just wait. Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, for it's my fault, for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it again, for the making me yelp, and for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners that can never break through the bars but have hold over me. Feel like I can't leave. One day I'll grow strong for the day to believe that you could just wait for the only one with the sin to hate, so I could be the one to yell, for not to tell you to go to hell, but I wish I could, for the life that I could sip such bliss, but now I have to stay here. Tears will only hide the slowly starting to die inside to dissipate. Fate, determined, fated, discernment. The greatest delight I have. For the greeting of the poem to say it all, for I decided I'd awaken my muse with reading the poem for the current, for the looking at the market to use. For for the knot, but I couldn't puzzle, for somehow words would not rhyme, for the story is told, for the sympathies of felt, for the cope, that I really can't say for the many hours spent. Added to complete the discontent, for the somehow it seems, for the passing of the year, for the many changes I could bring tears or words. Maybe there's such joy to me, for the I've been writing the pure harmony, for the dictionary. The love behold, for this, because I was told, for the imaginative the beauty, mathematically expressed, for the art, for the beauty of its motions and stressing, and different poets, books to the shelf, and including bar for the self, for the ever knowledge, for the light, for the rest, for the quiet world, for the ponder, contemplating, for the heavens beyond, grass for the rose, for the poets, what you be saying. Maybe you live inside the present, maybe the past phrase, for the accidentally start to rhyming as a verse. I'm wondering what might I say, but maybe today I could be back inside the coffin, the gratefully climb myself out of the metaphor. Do you think it's possible to give birth to the words that never connect with thought? But maybe I doubt that she was a thought, directing for the children's hour. Maybe for the boon down, for the stand, for the becoming, the rhyming out of a hand, for the today's brownies will surely record. Do they think they spent all earthly toil for the perpetuating words, for the enduring love that I could be thinking of when knowing this is never die? That poetry would never lie, would never reply for them, for their dead, for the good poetry still writing. Maybe I can be happy and do it my way, to not sentence and make it blend, fixation of the organic fusion, for this is the b-boy culture. Root out of my parents enough when I was to be the vulture to sweep on life and find something to eat, for the nutrition for my thoughts all because of you. My life, the changing life that I've had, changing forever, for never need to be sad, for the moving on, for the start to be anew, for the something good troubling. I flew on the wrong turn for these troubles and lessons I learned. My life changes. I hope that all see for the credit I like to leave, for these lead the poems. These lead the poems in my hand, for the understanding of a man that I never wanted to be. I stopped and think and never looked and just reflected on the thing that happened. And a few times, for a few years, for a few months, for a few days, for a few hours, for a few minutes, from here for the seconds, we wonder where behind went. Special moments for the ordinary, for the daily activities in the north, the ordinary memories for the eye unique and not the way to find the holds to them. Applying and mind and over again for the details emerging together. We never felt the fuzzy recollection, for it doesn't seem to fit anymore, for this is muzzy. New inability for the starting to grow up. Conversations you would never be the dog for the imaginary friends, but how about them sex? Started giggling, maybe the covering from the mud inside the mind, for the turning around inside the head, for everyone's free. The identity for the numbers and where they come from, for the closest causes, the furthest away they can come to felt. Maybe they're happening too fast, and even though you didn't want to grow up, you didn't want to be left behind it either, for the eager, maybe the weather ran out the hand is longer. Really the touching of the conveying safety, but the lust, but you can find it betraying for what's lust, and what's it's too. No, for this is what we have to grow up, forced to grow. The reaction of the destination for we continue to grow in the spirit. But if I can see for everyone's making choices for the trying things, the selfishness would have been the same forever, for I can make the choices. Maybe I'm changing too. Maybe that's wishing change like the dimensions, or maybe I can people come close to me to find sacred behind and leaving others behind. Think it's okay to stand off the distance. Just watch the people live and learn. Remember the people watching me, how they make me feel. But if I can hold on too tightly and move on, for I growing up and living in a life, the decisions to take my own responsibility for the living in the past and not to go on time to guess continues, and whether or not I can like it or not, for the leaving behind, you can have a journey of life. It's gonna be a recollection or a collection of confessions.
Drinking all night beneath the
Today's
open
tomorrow.
sky.
The future's the past.
No reason
The
to
last.
die. Drinking all
What's
night
the wish?
beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Woke up in the morning with a girl by my side. Don't know her name, but I'm sure she'll do fine. She was lying there, so I crept outside. Don't know where I'll go, but I'm sure I'll do alright. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die.
Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky.
Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. My whole life has left me all alone. Sure won't matter when I'm out on the road. My lonely thoughts will cloud up my eyes. It's better to live than sit and ask why. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Woke up in the morning with a girl by my side. Don't know her name, but I'm sure she'll do fine. She was lying there, so I crept outside. I don't know where I'll go, but I'm sure I'll do alright. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die.
Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Our life is left me alone. Sure won't matter when I'm out. She was lying there, so I crept outside. Don't wanna go, but I'm sure I'll do alright. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Nothing to do, no reason to die. Drinking all night beneath the open sky. Nothing to do, no reason to die. And my whole life has left me all alone. It sure won't matter when I'm out on the road.
I'm not in a rapping mood. If you were so beautiful enough to end everywhere, I can find it every day in you. Hard to believe, and this is not to be in touch. What I remember for the sight, for the sound, for the touch, for the senses, for not, for the beautiful presence in you, for my soul. I mean, nothing can ever forget the fate, for not for me, for you, for only the promise, and I forget, for never the understanding of you. Once was told for the ear, for not to be silent, for the heart, for the title, for the curl, for the understanding the girl, for the knowing the resting inside of the comfort, where maybe I can be absolutely everything. The promise to never fall. The life is to never be dedicated for I have now being inebriated for just like the love for the stolen for the one. Maybe I could be the outcome. The simile, the attraction, maybe it's the addition for you to be.
I'm not in a rapping mood if you were.
I'm not in a rapping mood. If you were so beautiful enough to end everywhere, I can find it every day in you. Hard to believe, and this is not to be in touch. What I remember for the sight, for the sound, for the touch, for the senses, for not, for the beautiful presence in you, but my soul, my mate. Nothing can ever prevent the fate, for not for me, for you, for only the promise, and I forget, for never the understanding of you. Once was told for the ear, for not to be silent, for the heart, for the tatter, for the curl, for the understanding the girl, for the knowing the resting inside of the comfort, where maybe I can be absolutely everything. The promise to never fall. The life is to never be dedicated, for I have now being inebriated, for just like the love for the stolen for the one. Maybe I could be the outcome. The simile, the attraction, maybe it's the addition for you to be adding to my thoughts, to the kiss, to the capturing of the glimpse, and maybe the prayer. For the prayer that was missed, for the heaven to you, I can erase my eyes, for I can think for the pain, for the clouds, for the such a wonderful day, for the shining of the glory, for the fight. If I never have the rights for the pictures of you smiling, for the wanting to say you can be right. Might be, maybe the word, for the doing, for the throw, that I can star the stars at night, for the shining of the bright, for the smiles. Maybe the mouth that I can go for the taking of the collective willpower you wish. Maybe I can turn, maybe I can switch, maybe pitch the right. Metal for the scatter, for the scatter, where the eye can never find death from only my love. And the closing of the eyes and going to the floor, for the wishing of a dream, for the stooding at the grave, for the fearing of the pain, for this is too intense, for I can never remain, for the drowning of the turnip, for the eye can never total the fifth. Hope from the heart for never be replaced, like a heart member I can deal with this no more, for the coming back of my plan, for my attack. This your contribution. Maybe this is the evolution of something I wish I never knew. Maybe the looking of the rain for the thinking of happiness. You've done for me what the tiny chambers inside of my heart, my organs, the tears are pouring. Someone had to shoot, maybe the answering of the phone call. Maybe there was a calling from you to find myself right next to you for the moment of my life and the suddenly fainting. And maybe I was the heaven and hell for the remaining with the surprise. You'll peek on me between me and my depression. You say love to stay here for the earth, for the only meaning for the perfect. Vanishing the yin, the yang, the heart with the tack. For the organs who would play the same songs and it would be melancholy. Yes, the voices inside of my head, the tears are pouring, the pounding in the heart. Maybe the next to the right knew I can never knew. Like it was an old story now. Nothing between me and the weather. Spring shall find your cheerful flowers in the bringing of a new. Allow me to forget the agony of missing you. Maybe the spring bursts into new life, refreshing hope for the grieving of the soul to cope for around the treasure, the cards for the giving of words specials to make me see. For the precious love for the fortunate to receive, and I want to not anguish in the mind for the terrible to plot. and maybe the bringing of the new light, for the releasing of the joy of the crossing across the sea, for maybe the remaining of seasons in life in the earth, for the meaning, for the merriment, for the mirror, for the sometimes unsadly, and final yesterdays and gentle, understanding me ways in which I can be helping myself, for the gifts and the comfort, they helping me see that I can find linger, and lasting gifts for the comfort and will sustain I until the journey for the peaceful shore. I should swim, not tread waters and find the winter, for the wall, for the leafing of the winter, for the songs, for the sometimes unwarming and hiring of the day, for the larking of the silent wings, I fly away. Sadness not to consume, vastness not to overload my replant for the heart. Maybe this is the moment to escape. That love, that spirit, that grief, that understanding. This is reprimanded, or this is not for the life, for the law, for the contribution, for these to be so strong. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence and wish you can wish for anything to come true, for the wishing that anything can happen and what you wish for. The world peace for the dreams to find. You'll die in your old age. Nothing. My life is okay, but sure there will be some things I love to change, but you can't even see the precise moment I will lose. Wishing I can lose something great for you can meet the moments for the change, for the moment lost, for the moment that's special to me. When I can wish to bad to think that maybe this messed up the whole life for the privacy, for the emphasis on the hypothesis. Maybe the ghost of my past is fumbling, stumbling around the dark for the fighting, igniting for the flames of the spark, for the blinding, reminding me of the fear inside. Yearning for the place to hide, for the choking, luring, and abiding for you to be chasing and winning. My beginning for their freedom at last. I'm free. For the escaping of the past, to let myself moor. For the present of the future, maybe the color for the better than yesterday. Or for the not be worried about the past, for like the things that never last, for the better, for the stronging. For the better, for weaker, for making us realize we're better than this. Maybe the time that it will never be missing, I can be a symbolism of the memories. A subliminal thought, a subconscious, a thought, and maybe the hope, and the future. And letting go and holding on for the walking of couples, maybe going, laughing, playing, the emptiness, the part from, the wishing, looking back. Tomorrow's gone for the disappointments and maybe bliss. This can be not the materialistic or the material. This is the substance. Nor the substanding ways that we can find growth to be unified. What's to wish for? What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence and wish you can wish for anything. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence and wish you can wish for anything to come true, for the wishing that anything can happen and what you wish for. The world peace for the dreams to find. You'll die in your old age. Nothing. My life is okay, but sure there will be some things I love to change, but you can't even see the precise moment I will lose. Wishing I can lose something great for you can meet the moments for the change, for the moment lost, for the moment that's special to me. When I can wish to bad to think that maybe this messed up the whole life for the privacy, for the emphasis on the hypothesis. And maybe the ghost of my past is fumbling, stumbling around the dark for the fighting, igniting for the flames of the spark, for the blinding, reminding me of the fear inside. Yearning for the place to hide, for the choking, loving. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over. What's to wish for? Maybe the breaking over silence and wish you can wish for anything to come true, for the wishing that anything can happen and what you wish for. The world peace for the dreams to find. You'll die in your old age. Nothing. My life is okay, but sure there will be some things I love to change, but you can't even see the precise moment I will lose.
Sometimes it's love in the breaking. Sometimes it's love. Sometimes it's love in the breaking point of despair, for the beating beneath the chest. And why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, for it's my fault, for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it again, for the making me yelping, for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and the fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners who can never break through the bars but half hold.
Sometimes it's love from the breaking point of despair, for the beating beneath the chest, and why do I scream? I do all my best for the nightmare, for I'm awake, for this my fault, for the mistake is sometimes okay, but it's not. You're alright, but sometimes you get angry but won't fight. Something goes wrong, you can never help it, to always help it again, for the making you yelping, for the giving love, for the don't care, for the don't have to live like this but isn't. Love and the fear for the needs to heal the scars, and like the prisoners that never break through the bars but half hold over me. Feel like I can't leave. One day I'll grow strong for the day to believe that you could just wait for the only one to sin, to hate, so I could be the one to yell, for not to tell you to go to hell, but I wish I could, for the life that I consider such bliss, but now I have to stay here. Tears will only hide the slowly starting to die inside and dissipate. Fate, determined, fated, discernment. The greatest delight I have. For the greeting in the poem can say it all, for I decided I awaken my muse with reading the poem, for the current, for the looking at the market use. For the now, but I couldn't puzzle, for somehow words do not rhyme, for the story is told, for the simply felt, for the quote, for the I really can't say many hours spent. Edited to complete the discontent, for the somehow it seems, for the passing of the year, for the many changes I could bring tears or words, and maybe there's such joy to me, for the I been writing the pure harmony, for this dictionary. The lo behold for this, because I was told for the imaginative of beauty, rhythmatically expressed for the art, for the beauty of its motions and stressing and the different poets, books to the shelf and including bar for the self, for the ever knowledge, for the light, for the rest, for the quiet world, for the pond and contemplating, for the heavens beyond, grass for the rose, for the poets, what you be saying, maybe he lived inside the present, maybe with the past phrase, for the accidentally start the rhyming as a verse. I'm wondering what to say, if maybe today I could be back inside the coffin and gratefully climb myself out of a metaphor. Do you think it's possible to give birth to the words that are never connecting with the thought? For maybe I doubt that she was a thought, resting for the children's hour. Maybe for the boon down, for the stand, for the becoming, the rhyming out of the hand, for the today's brownies will surely recoil. Do they think they spent all earthly toil for the perpetuating words, for the enduring love that I could be thinking of, but knowing this is never die. That poetry would never lie, or never reply for them, for their dead, for the good poets are still writing. Maybe I can be happy and do it my way. To not sense and make it blend, fixation of the organic fusion, for this is the b-boy culture. Moved out of my parents enough when I was to be the vulture to sweep on life and find something to eat. For the nutrition for my thoughts, all because of you. My life, the changing life that I've had. Changing forever, for never need to be sad, for the moving on, for the start to be anew, for the something good troubling. I flew on the wrong turn for these troubles and lessons I learned. My life changes. I hope that I all see for the credit I life to lead, for these lead the poems. These will lead the poems in my hand, for the understanding of a man that I never wanted to be. I stopped and think and never looked and just reflected everything that happened. In a few times, in a few years, in a few months, in a few days, in a few hours, in a few minutes from here, for the seconds that wonder where the time went. Special moments for the ordinary, for the daily activities in the north, the ordinary memories for the odd, unique and northern way to find and hold to them. Applying and mind and over again for the details emerging together. You never felt the fuzzy recollection, for it doesn't seem to fit anymore, for this is muzzy. Manipulated for the starting to grow up. Conversations you would never be in the dog for the imaginary friends, for how about them sex? Started giggling, maybe the covering for the mud inside of the mind, for the turning around inside of the head, for everyone was three. No identity for the numbers and where they come from, for the closest, the closets, the furthest the way they can come and felt. Maybe they're happening too fast, and even though you didn't want to grow up, you didn't want to be left behind it either, for the ether. Maybe the weather went out the hand is longer. Or maybe the touching of the conveying safety, but the lust, whether you can find it betraying for what is lust and what's to. No, for this is what we have to grow up. Forced to grow. The reaction of the destination for we continue to grow in the spirit. But if I can see for everyone's making choices for the trying to things, the selfishness would have been the same forever for I can make the choices. Maybe I'm changing too. Maybe that's wishing change like the dimensions, or maybe I can people come close to me to find sacred. Behind and leaving others behind, if it's okay to stand off the distance. Just watch the people live and learn. Remember the people watching how they make me feel. But if I can hold on too tightly and move on, for I growing up, living in the life, for decisions to taking on responsibility for the living of the past and not to go on time to guess continues, and whether or not I can like it or not, for the leaving behind, you can have a journey of life. This could be a recollection or a collection of confessions. Today's, tomorrow's. The future's the past, the last. What's to wish?